Hi everyone, this is Bryn. Today we're looking at the Removu P1. The Removu P1 is the world's first device to turn the GoPro LCD Touch backpack into a wearable live view remote control. It's compatible with GoPro HERO3, HERO3 Plus and HERO4 cameras. Of course, the Touch backpack is not included and has to be purchased separately, but combined they use the camera's Wi-Fi capability to remotely control all functions in the camera. You can start and stop recording, you can use the touch screen to change camera settings and preview the scene on the live display. You can also use the Touch backpack's playback function to watch back your recorded files while on the go. Let's take a closer look. The Removu P1 is packaged in a very nice presentation tin. Inside you get the P1 itself, there's a quick start guide, a card with information regarding using the P1 underwater, and an accessories box. On the outside of the accessories box is a recommendation to go to the Removu website to check for and install any firmware updates available. Inside the accessories box there's a USB charging cable, a Velcro wrist strap and some Removu stickers. Once you remove the sticker from the front of the P1, you can see the clear plastic cover that allows you to access the touchscreen while it's inside the housing. If we open the catch and remove the front cover, you'll also see another sheet of protective film on the inside of the cover, which should be removed before use. There's also a hard insert that should be kept and put back in to protect the membrane from being punctured when you don't have the GoPro LCD backpack inside. To install the Touch backpack, simply line up the groove on this side and the Hero port on the other and press the backpack in firmly. The touch cover has a flexible membrane that allows touch and swipe gestures to work through it. The housing has a silicone seal. Care should be taken to make sure that the seal is free from hair and dirt and the cover closed firmly and evenly to create a watertight fit. An optional extra you can purchase for the P1 is the P1 cradle. It allows you to mount the P1 onto just about any existing GoPro mount. The P1 cradle can attach either with a thumbscrew connection or you can use any of the quick connect buckles available. Taking a look around the P1, you can see the 3 buttons on this end that operate in a similar way to the buttons on the GoPro camera itself. They can be used when you can't use the touch screen, such as when you're wearing gloves or when underwater, but may also have a standalone function. For example, the red button, which can be used to make a selection but is also the only way to start and stop recording. The M button can be used to change modes and move down through a list of options, but is also used to power on and off both the camera and the P1. And the back button allows you to return to a previous screen or setting. On the bottom of the unit, you can see 2 small LED lights. The left hand side is a charge indicator light, and the right hand side shows red when the P1 is powered on, but blue when connected with your camera. On this side, there's a cover that conceals the USB port that you use to charge the internal battery or apply firmware updates using the included USB cable. Inside, there's also a small reset button which you can press using a paperclip to return the P1 to default conditions. To charge the P1, open the cover and plug in the small end of the USB cable. The other end can either plug into your computer or you can use a USB wall charger. The charge light will show red while charging and go out when fully charged. When finished, unplug the USB cable and make sure the cover is firmly closed to maintain a watertight seal. To connect the P1 to your GoPro HERO3, HERO3 Plus or HERO4 camera, you'll need to know the camera's Wi-Fi name and password. You can then simply turn on Wi-Fi in the camera, turn on the P1, select the camera name and enter the password into the keypad that appears on the touch screen. Note, after connecting to the P1 for the first time, it will automatically connect in future when the camera name is selected, without having to enter the password every time. Touch and swipe gestures with the P1 are pretty much exactly the same as they are when using the LCD Touch backpack directly attached to the camera. I'll demonstrate with the GoPro HERO4 Black Edition camera. Although it should be noted that while the P1 operates in a very similar way with HERO3 and HERO3 Plus cameras, some of the modes and functions shown are not available in those models. To start recording, you simply press the top red button on the side of the P1 and press the red button again to stop recording. Swiping from left to right brings up the playback menu. You can select an item and delete it if you want to, or select another file and review your footage. Select the media icon to go back to all files. Touch the cross in the bottom right hand corner to exit the playback menu and go back to the live preview screen. Swiping from right to left brings up the modes menu. Selecting video allows you to change between video, time-lapse video, video and photo, and looping. Exit takes you back. In photo modes, you can choose between single, continuous and night photos. In multi-shot modes, there's burst, time-lapse and night-lapse to choose from. Also in the main menu, there's another option to choose playback. Pressing settings gives access to individual mode settings, but also the setup menu, where you can make changes to camera orientation, default modes, default sub-modes, LEDs, beeps, video format and on-screen display. Press the arrow to go back and the cross to exit and return to the live preview screen. Swiping up gives direct access to settings for whatever mode you're currently in. You can change resolution, frame rate, field of view, as well as turn on auto low light, spot meter and Pro Tune. Swiping down brings up a P1 only menu. The right hand icon takes you to remote view settings. If you select display, you'll find brightness, sleep mode, on-screen display, and you can also turn the lock screen on and off. Back to remote view settings, you can also access Wi-Fi network, which shows the current camera the P1 is connected to, or to change between cameras if you have more than one camera paired with the P1. Note, you can switch between cameras, but you can only operate one camera at a time. System information shows the current version firmware installed on the P1. Press OK and the cross to exit. If we go back in, we can see that the last three icons from left to right are direct access to network settings, date and time, which is handy if you're wearing the P1 on your wrist instead of a watch, and lastly a lock icon to lock the touchscreen if you want to. In all cases, pressing the back button will allow you to go back or exit a menu. Finally, pressing and holding the M button gives you the option to power off the P1 alone, the camera alone, or power off both the camera and the P1 at the same time. let's take a look at some examples of the P1 in action. If I mount the camera on the roof of the car, I can use the display to adjust the camera angle. Then I can mount the P1 inside the vehicle to control the camera or simply monitor the preview screen while driving along. For some activities, it's difficult to change settings in the camera because it's just out of reach, such as here where I have the camera mounted at the end of my kayak. The P1 is mounted on my wrist, giving me quick and easy access, and I don't have to worry about the remote getting wet as it's waterproof down to 1 metre for up to 30 minutes. Perfect for most surface-based water activities. Here I've got my GoPro camera on a telescopic pole with the P1 mounted at the base using the GoPro handlebar mount and the P1 cradle. It allows me to keep the fully extended pole steady with 2 hands and watch the display while I'm filming. One of the great things about using the P1 is that it leaves the back of the camera free for using a battery backpack. Adding a battery backpack to the camera will roughly double the battery life. If you need even more power for extended video or time-lapse sessions, you can even add an external USB power bank. That allows you to set the camera up somewhere high for a unique perspective and control the camera from the ground, but not have to worry about the battery running out too quickly. The battery in the P1 itself will last for up to 2.5 to 3 hours of continuous use. That can be extended by turning off the P1 when you've finished with it, but the camera is still recording. Lastly, the P1 can control the camera from up to 70 meters away in optimal conditions. If you'd like more information or you'd like to purchase the Removu P1, I've included links in the description below.